This strapping young lad is Tristan Barnett, and he makes knives. He makes knives out of all kinds of stuff. Old tools, bed frames, car bumpers. If it's a hunk of metal, he'll make it into a knife. And I like that creativity. I like his style. And if you peruse the plethora of videos that he posts, you might get a glimpse of his murder wall. He's even got the cleaver from the Zombie and Hero Quest. In this series, I'll be showing off my very own collection of Tristan Barnett's original works. This is Tristan Barnett's Wonderful Creations. And I'm your host, JJ Jinx!
Stay sharp!
Welcome back to another one of these episodes. It's been a while since I've done one, and I figured it's about time for that. For this episode, I just grabbed a bunch of random things that I've received over the years, and I wanted to start out with one that is very special to me, and it is this knife. This was the very first knife that Tristan Barnett ever sent me. Somewhere on his channel, and I'll link in the description, there's a 2-part video of him making this knife. What we have is a leather sheath that I think he told me he made it from an old briefcase. Could be wrong about that. The knife itself is kind of a Bowie-style clip point deal made from bed frame. That's Tristan Barnett's preferred medium. It's got an aluminum hilt, brass pins through a wood handle, which I believe he either stained it or tried to burn it a little bit to give it that rustic look. And it is full tang construction. It's got a little bit of rust on it. It is high carbon steel, not really meant for this kind of thing, but it'll clean off. Maybe I should put a little oil on it for storage. So it was my first, and remains to this day, probably my favorite. This next one, I'm pretty sure, was unboxed with my friends in Florida one summer before COVID when we got together and opened a bunch of things. It's got a nice texture to the sheath. I like it. And the knife itself is this stubby little dagger. Pretty neat, lots of personality. I believe it's also made from bed frame. This one has a brass hilt and a brass pommel where you can see the other end of the tang. And stamped on the brass hilt are the letters T, and on the other side, B. Wonder what that stands for. Yeah, it's a heavy little thing. Pretty thick blade stock. Bed frame stock. This next one, I don't remember when I got this one, but what you're looking at is a stalk of bamboo with a ring in the middle of it. And it pulls open to reveal a very long blade. It's sort of like a cane knife, but emphasis on the knife, not so much on the cane. That's an aluminum pommel with what looks like a wooden dowel pinning the blade into place. I'm not sure what the blade is made out of, but it looks like just a scrap piece of metal. It's pretty light. This actually might be aluminum, and the fact that it's not rusted at all kind of points in that direction. Tristan's probably told me exactly what it's made out of at some point, and I just don't remember. I also like the natural formation inside of the bamboo that allows you to slide the blade into its scabbard. And it makes a cool sound. And one more piece for this video. I received this in a big lot of things that he sent me. What we have is a cylindrical handle wrapped in twine with a black painted blade. And interesting thing about this one is that the handle is actually hollow. That's just like a tube. Again, I'm not sure what he made this out of, but I imagine it was maybe like a trowel. Anyway, the black painted blade has a little bit of a clip point to it, or perhaps drop point. It's all about the angle, I guess. So I like this one. It's very light, it's got a lot of personality, and a nice sheath to go with it. Well, thanks for watching, and thank you, Tristan Barnett. See the link below to his channel.
Stay sharp.